as being one. And I've mentioned this before. I'm of the opinion that human nature is that people feel more comfortable being around those that are like them. And people that are like me has less to do with the color of their skin and more with their values, their hobbies, the things they like to do, the things that are important to them. An example, do you want to go out drinking with a Southern Baptist? Probably not, because they don't drink. Do you want to have a Muslim family over for a barbecue if you got pork steaks on the grill? Probably not, because they don't eat pork, okay? Does that make you wrong or them right, or vice versa? No, but people feel more comfortable with those around them that, that are like them, okay? And the color of skin is less and less a criteria that people really care about. The next item, 33% of Trump voters said it was racist for whites to say the N-word. Now, let me ask a question. Is it ever right for anybody to say the N-word? Or in what context is this used? Is it quoting a fact or quoting a statement? Or is it calling somebody a name? Or is it just saying it in a joke? Or is it just saying it in reciting a song? Can people other than whites say it? What about Hispanics and Asians? They only talk about white people. And what if you're a white artist singing a Trinidad James song, okay? The question is so vague and leading that it cannot even be considered. Now, personally, I believe it's an ugly word. And it's offensive to many Americans, not just black ones, okay? Society generally believes that. That's just not me. That's what society generally believes. So I believe we should do what we can to severely limit it in conversation. As a society, that's doing the right thing, in my opinion. Now, African Americans can say it, but others can't? Really? Is that where we're going with this? I can shoot a hole in that argument today, and I've done this for years. I did this when I was on the radio also. If African Americans can say the N-word, but others cannot, I guess that means I can say the N-word because I'm part Tunisian. Tunisia's part of Africa. That kind of makes me an African American, right? The argument to that statement is, well, that's ridiculous strong, because Tunisia is not part of Black Africa. It's part of Arab Africa. And besides, you're not much Tunisian at all, so you can't say that word. Okay, well, then you tell me where on the latitude line you have to be below so that you can be called African American, and what percentage of African blood, Black African blood, you have to have in you before you're actually considered African American. In other words, it's a ridiculous statement, okay? America is not a racist nation. Many think we are, but we're just not. I don't care what the guy from the Washington Post says, he's wrong. America is not a racist nation. If we were, would we have elected a mixed race, some say black man, President Obama, president, twice, by a wide margin, okay? Would we have done that if we were truly a racist nation? And anybody who says, well, Black America elected Obama, ridiculous. Black America is 12% of this country. If every black face in this country had voted for Barack Obama, but no white ones did, he wouldn't have been elected. He wouldn't have even been a rounding error. Obama was elected by America, white, black, other, everybody. So America is not a racist country. The recent remarks by President Reagan, you probably heard those this week. Reagan's racist remarks had something to, I don't have the words in front of me, but had something to do with, there was a UN vote, and the delegates from Tanzania, they voted the way that the U.S. didn't want them to vote. Reagan was talking to Nixon, and Reagan referred to the Tanzanian delegates as monkeys who have barely been in shoes for not a long time. How dare they vote against us? He was talking to Richard Nixon about this, okay? Now, based on Webster's definition, that's certainly a racist remark from my boy Ron. Yep, definitely a racist remark. Now, does that mean that Ronald Reagan was a racist? Think about that. He made a racist remark. I think we all agree that was a racist remark, but does that make Ronald Reagan a racist? Before you answer that question, let me ask you another one, okay? And please, please, dear listeners, answer this honestly. Have you ever, during a conversation with a close peer that was meant for one set of ears only, his or hers, used racist, sexist, homophobic, or other disparaging language? I have, more than once. And was it wrong? Yeah, it does. It was wrong. But does that make me a racist or a sexist or a bigot or a homophobe? Perhaps, but I don't think so. Nixon and Reagan were both California governors. They were both in the same party. They were talking off the record. It was just a dopey conversation between two guys. Definitely a racist remark, but not from a racist person. Oh, by the way, let me ask you, how did you answer that question? How did you answer the question, have you ever, during a conversation with a close peer that was meant for one set of ears only, use of racist, sexist, or homophobic, or other disparaging language? How did you answer that question? If you said no, I never have, well, congratulations, you're definitely not a racist. You are, however, my friend, a liar, because everybody has done it, including me. Speaking of President Obama, what if a high-profile celebrity who hosted a game show referred to the president back in 2010 as the N-word? What would happen to that individual? Would he be fired? Would he be ostracized? Would he have been shunned? Yeah, I think so. And I would agree. Snoop Dogg, who hosts Joker's Wild, has called President Trump more than once the N-word. Don't take my word for it. Google it. It's on YouTube. You know, YouTube, it's still out there on YouTube. Snoop Dogg calling the President of the United States the N-word. YouTube hasn't banned it, like they did Alex Jones, because he's horrible. Check it out. I'm right. If Snoop Dogg can say that about Trump, but somebody else couldn't say it about President Obama, do you think there's a double standard there? Okay. And by the way, the left and the right, they both play this game. It's just not the right, or it's just not the left who plays it against the right. The left has had a lot of luck playing this card against the right. So now the right plays it against the left. Okay. For some reason, these people can't be original on either side. Okay. You've heard of the Squad, OAC, Ayana Presley, Elona Omar, and Rasheda Talib. They've been called racist. They've been called anti-Semitic, by the right. And that's wrong. Nothing they have said is anti-Semitic. Absolutely nothing. And I've researched this ad nauseum, and I have not found anything anti-Semitic that any of these women have said. They have, however, they've made statements that are anti-Israel, okay? And that's not the same thing, okay? Just because you've said things against the state of Israel does not mean you're anti-Semitic. It can mean you're anti-Israel, okay? But it doesn't mean you're anti-Semitic. If you say things against the state of Iran, are you anti-Muslim? I don't think so. Not the same thing. In fact, let me give you some examples as how the right have negatively painted members of the Squad. Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez, AOC. She has said that Palestine is an occupation by Israel. She's also said that 40 years ago, before Auschwitz, we had concentration camps, which is what we're doing now that fits clearly inside that tradition. In other words, talking about America. And she's also sided with Venezuelan dictator Maduro. Now, these comments are biased, silly, and they've bent the truth. The U.S. isn't anything close to Nazi Germany, but they're not racist remarks. Now, Cortez can be anti-Israel without being anti-Semitic. Just like Trump can say horrible things about Representative Cummings without being racist. See where I'm going there? Ayana Presley, during a Netroots Nation address, said, and I'm going to quote, this isn't a paraphrase, this is an actual quote, "The Democratic Party doesn't need any more black faces that don't want to be a black voice. I'm black with a capital B, and I'm a woman with a capital W." In other words, she's in it to help black folks and women, okay? I will never vote for her because she just told me she never will work for my concerns. I'm not black and I'm not a woman. She doesn't care about me. I don't fit her criteria. But that doesn't make her a racist, does it? No, she didn't say anything bad about white people. She said, well, I'm here to help the black folks and the women. It's not racist. I don't like it. I won't vote for her because she doesn't give two shits about me. But it's not racist. See where I'm going here? That doesn't make her a racist. Now, if you agree, here's one thing you do have to consider. And I'm going to read that statement one more time. Okay? The Democratic Party doesn't need any more black faces that won't be a black voice. I'm black with a capital B and a woman with a capital W. Again, that's not racist. But replace the word black with white and replace the word woman with man. And you get a statement that says, the fill-in-the-blank party doesn't need any more white faces that won't be a white voice. I'm white with a capital W and a man with a capital M. If she had made a statement like that, or if anyone had made a statement like that, they'd be done. Do you still agree it's not a racist? If you agree that one is not racist, you have to agree that the other's not racist, don't you? Think about it. Please think about it. Rasheda Talib, she said that there is a continued dehumanization and racist policies by the state of Israel that, come on, turn the page here, Strong. That's the trouble with writing this stuff down. That violate international human rights, okay? She also called her critics racist idiots, okay? Again, she's speaking out against the Israeli state. That's not anti-Semitic. It's totally different. Now, she calls her critics racist idiots. People on the right call Talib a racist idiot. And she says, I know you are, but what am I? Basically, I'm not a racist idiot. You are. No, you are. No, you are. It's your mom. No, you are. See how silly that is? Elona Omar, the last member of the squad, she said, Israel has hypnotized the world. May Allah awaken the people and help them see the evil doings of Israel. She's called the state of Israel terrorists, and she supports the boycott of the Israel. She supports the boycott Israel movement. She said, support of Israel. She says it's all about the Benjamins, baby. With the inference being Jews are money grubbers and they're all about the money. Perhaps there was some inference there, but that's not what she said. She also said 9/11. 9/11, yeah, some people did some things. I think it was a little bit more than that, don't you? Omar's associate, a lady named Linda Sarsour, praised an imam. His name is Shiraj Wajaj, and I'm probably pronouncing his name wrong, who called for the killing of homosexuals. Okay? And there was a tweet. Again, everybody damns Trump for the tweets, but she's not the only one that does the stupid tweeting, okay? Omar had a tweet after attending a gay pride parade. She says, my hips don't lie. Shakira law now in full effect. Well, Shakira, not Shahira, but Shakira, the artist, she did a play on words there, okay? And a lot of people said, okay, she wants Sharia law to be part of this country. There's proof. Well, no, it was probably an insensitive and not well thought out play on words. There were smiley faces after the tweet, okay? So a lot of people didn't get it. Old white guys probably don't know who Shakira is. And they said, well, here she is. She's calling for Sharia law in this country. No, she wasn't.